Hello sports fans, it's me, Sportsman Z, and we're here at Game 3 of the 1979 National League Championship Series between the Cincinnati Reds and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now in real life, the Pirates won this series, but right now they're down 2-0 to Cincinnati. And if Cincinnati wins right here, that's it. Cincinnati will be in the World Series when it was actually the Pirates who were in that World Series. Pitching today in this very critical game for the visiting Cincinnati Reds is Mike Lacoss. And there's Mike Lacoss's card. And pitching for the Pirates is Bruce Kison. And there's his card. So, not to delay any further, we will get started with Dave Collins leading off against Bruce Kison. And he gets a 2-6, which is a single. And the first hit, first batter, first hit. And Joe Morgan comes up and he gets a 5-10 on Kison, which is a home run 1-13. And he actually gets a double out of that. So already Kison's in trouble, and they can't afford to have that happen. The infield isn't quite at the point where they got to come in though, and Griffey's up and he gets a 6-4, which is a strikeout. So Kison gets a key strikeout right there, and that brings up George Foster, and he gets a 5-7, which is a ground ball second baseman. The second baseman for the Pirates is Phil Garner, and he is a 2 at second, and that's a 6, and that's going to be an out, but we'll see if the runners advance. Out 3. No, nobody advances. 2 away. So the Reds might blow a perfect opportunity right here. And that brings up Johnny Bench. And he gets a 3-4, which is a single. And it does drive in at least 1 run. And that scores Collins. And coming around is Joe Morgan. You got to imagine he probably, yeah, he can run. He's a 1-15, so. And a 12, and that was a right fielder. The right fielder's arm that's Parker. That's not going to be good. He's probably going to get gunned. Is a -5. Yeah, he gets gunned. So the Reds do get 1 run, but little Joe Morgan gets gunned out at the plate, and Cincinnati gets a run. All right, so that could have been a much more damaging inning for the Reds than it actually was. And Omar Moreno is up, and he gets a 6-6, which is a pop out to second base. Bill Madlock is up. He gets a 6-9, which is a line out to third. Dave Parker gets a 5-6, which is a double 1-4 or a single. And that's going to be a single for Dave Parker. First hit allowed by Lacoss. And Willie Stargell's up, and he gets a 3-10, which is a home run 1-5 or a double. And that is going to be a home run. So a 2-run home run for Willie Stargell pops. And that knocks in Parker as well. Parker with the run, and Pops with the run and the 2 RBIs. And Lacoss with the second hit and 2 earned runs. And with that, the Pirates have gone ahead. Bill Robinson gets a 2-6, which is a strikeout. Two away. And Phil Garner gets a 111, which is a pop out to short. But the Pirates do strike for 2. And that brings the Reds back up. Now all of a sudden down by a run. And Dan Dreesen is up and he gets a 2-7, which is a single 1 to 17. And that's a 15, so that's a hit. A lot more offensive activity than we've seen in this series usually. 4th hit given up by Kison already. And that brings up Ray Knight. And Ray Knight gets a 6-7, which is a ground ball shortstop. And the shortstop is a 1 for Pittsburgh. No, it's a 3. And that's going to be a base hit right there, I can tell you. 2 and 3 is a single 2. Yep. So now Kison's in trouble again. Ray Knight with a single. And the Pirates are going to get action up in their pen already. Jim Bibby is warming up. Because the Pirates cannot afford to lose today. Dave Concepcion is up with no outs and runners are at the corners. And he gets a 2-6, which is a ground ball double play. So the infield was back at normal depth. So that's a double play. And then what was that? 2-6? 2-6, but the run does score. Yeah, third base. 5-4-3. But Dreesen did score. And the game is tied. And that brings up Lacoss. And he gets a 1-9, which is a strikeout. Second strikeout for Kison. And maybe he settled down, but anyway, it's 2-2 going to the bottom of the second. And Ed Ott is up. And he gets a 5-9, which is a strikeout. Tim Foley's up, and he gets a 2-4, which is a ground ball shortstop. And Kison's up. They'll let him back because nobody got on, but if they had had a little rally going, might have been different. But a pop out to second. Pop out to 4. So it's still 2-2. We go to the top of the third. Dave Collins up. He gets a 1-5, which is a strikeout. Oh. Wrong guy. All right. Third strikeout for Kison. Joe Morgan's up. 3-9 is a single. Sixth hit allowed for Kison. Ken Griffey is up with 1 out. 5-7 That's a ground ball second base. The second baseman is a 2, I believe. Yep. And that's a 20-2. And that's going to be a roll again. And that's a 15-2. That might be an error. It is a one-base error. So Ken Griffey gets on by an E4. Still one out, but now there's 2 runners on. And George Foster up, and he gets a 2-9, which is a double 1. Or a single double asterisk. And he gets an RBI. And Morgan scores. And Kison gives up another run. And now they are going to replace Kison with Jim Bibby. So Kison goes 2 1/3. And that brings in Bibby. And Johnny Bench is up at the plate. The score is 3-2, Cincinnati now. But they're gonna hope for the double play though still. And 4-4 is a fly ball center field. The center fielder is Moreno, and he's a 1. That's a 6. 6-1 is an out, 4 runners hold. 2 away. Fly out to 8. And Dan Dreesen up, and he gets a 6-9, which is a fly ball center field B. So Bibby comes in, he shuts everything down, but the Reds take the 3-2 lead, going to the bottom of the 3rd. And Moreno is up, and he gets the 3-5, which is a single. Only the 3rd hit allowed by Lacoss. And he's a stealing double A. He's going to take off for 2nd, and with a 4 he easily makes it. And Madlock is up with a 4-4, and that's going to be a walk. First walk issued by Lacoss. And now it's Lacoss that's in trouble with Parker up. And he gets the 3-9, which is a single. And that loads up the bases, except that the runner is Moreno. And you have to believe they're going to send Moreno. And he is a running 1-17, so they definitely will send him. And 18, he's going to get gunned, I think. So yeah, he is. Unless the right fielder's got a plus arm. Right field is Griffey. And let's see, what's he got? He's got a 0 arm, so he is gunned out. So that's the first out. No runner at 3rd anymore. And that brings up Stargell. Pops, and he gets a 4-9, and that is a ground ball second base C. 2 away. And that's a fielder's choice. And so now it's up to Bill Robinson to try to get a run in. 6-7, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop. And the shortstop is a 1. That's Concepcion, and he's out. So the Pirates blew a chance right there. I mean, they had him on the ropes, but then Moreno got thrown out trying to extend the single, try to extend, go an extra base and get home, and he was gunned out trying to do that, and then the Pirates couldn't capitalize after that. So Ray Knight up in the top of the fourth. 1-6 is a ground ball third base. 5-3, one away. Dave Concepcion gets a 5-8, which is a strikeout. And that's the first strikeout for Jim Bibby. And then Mike Lacoss is up, and he gets a 6-6, which is a single 1-8. 1-8. And that is going to be a single. So the pitcher gets a hit. And that's the first hit allowed by Bibby. And Dave Collins is up, and he gets a 4-9, which is a fly ball left field C. So no runs. Fly out to 7. No runs come in. And we go to the bottom of the fourth. Phil Garner is up. He gets a 5-5, which is a fly ball center field. Fly out to 8, one away. Ed Ott gets a 3-3, which is a ground ball second base A. And Tim Foley is up, and he gets a 4-3, which is a ground ball to the pitcher. Or no, 4-3 is a catcher's card. And the catcher's a 1. So that's a 10. Out on dribbler. So so Foley was out 2-3, and no runs for the Pirates. We go to the top of the fifth with the Reds still leading 3-2. And Joe Morgan's up. He gets a 2-4, which is a ground ball second base. One away. Ken Griffey gets a 3-4, which is a ground ball first base A. So ground out to 3, 2 away. And George Foster's up, and he gets a 1-6, which is a strikeout. He just missed a home run. And Bibby with his second strikeout. The score 3-2. Bibby is actually a 2-hitter, and they are going to let him hit because he's been pitching quite well, and he is a starter reliever, so he's adept at going multiple innings. And he gets a 3-5, which is a ground ball shortstop A. And I forgot to write his name in. So in the fifth, Bibby 6-3. Brings up Omar Moreno. He gets a 5-6, which is a strikeout. And Lacoste with the fourth strikeout of the game. And Bill Madlock gets a 5-12, which is a strikeout. Or wait, ground ball B. Ground ball pitcher B. So 1-3. No runs across. Top of the sixth. Johnny Bench is up, and he gets a 4-9, which is a fly ball left field C. Dan Dreesen's up. He gets a 1-8, which is a strikeout, but just missed a possible home run. And Ray Knight Mike gets a 4-12, which is a ground ball. Second base. Second baseman is a 2. And that's a 19. 19 and 2 is an out. So 4-3. No runs for the Reds. They still hold on to that slim 1-run lead by the score of 3-2. And Bibby pitching great ever since coming in for Kison. And Dave Parker is up for the Pirates. He gets a 3-8, which is a single. Fifth hit allowed by Lacoss, and Stargell's up, and he gets a 110, which is a ground ball. First base A plus injury. That's going to be 2 outs, but more importantly, he stays in the game. He's just temporarily injured. But that was a 3-6. Probably like a 3-6-1. Or a 3-6-4, maybe a 3-6-4. So now the Reds are back up in the top of the 7th. It's getting late. 6-9 is a fly ball center field for Concepcion. One away. The pitcher comes up. He gets a 1-7, which is a strikeout. Lacoss striking out to Bibby. And Dave Collins, and he gets a 2-12, which is a line out to first base. And no runs in the 7th. And here come the Pirates. Bill Robinson. 1-8 is a single 1-2 or a line out to short. And that's going to be a line out to short. One away. Phil Garner gets a 1-8, which is a double 1-15. And that's a single. So Garner with a single. Ed Ott comes up and he gets a 2-7, which is a strikeout, 2 away. 5th strikeout for Lacoss, and Tim Foley's up and he gets a 1-7, which is a single. And that's a hit allowed. And then Bibby's up and he's pitching too well. They can't take him out. 6-10 is a fly ball center field B. So Pittsburgh gets no runs there. We go to the top of the 8th. And time is marching on, and not in the favor of the Pirates. Joe Morgan's up. He gets a 3-4, which is a walk. That's only the second guy that Bibby's allowed on since he's come on. Ken Griffey comes up and he gets a 4-6, which is the shortstop X. And the shortstop for the Pirates is Foley. That's a 10 and a 3 at short. And that's going to be an out double play. So Griffey, 6-4-3, double play, 2 away. And that brings up George Foster, and he gets a 4-10, which is a third base. Third base is, for the Pirates, a 3. That's Madlock. He gets a 12. 12 and 3 is an out. So Foster gets out 5-3. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Omar Moreno up. 4-4, and that's a walk. And the walk allowed by Lacoss. All right, and we're back. And what do we got? We got a walk. So a walk to lead off for Moreno, with Madlock now up. And he gets a 6-8, which is a pop out to first base. One out, one on for the Pirates. Dave Parker up, 5-8 is a fly ball center field, 2 away. And Willie Stargell gets a 2-7, which is a strikeout. But he just missed a home run. The 6th strikeout for Lacoss, who has been really, really good here since allowing 2 runs in the first. Now we go to the top of the 9th. The Reds up, and they're winning 3-2 with Johnny Bench up, 5-8. Bibby is a strikeout. Fifth strikeout for Bibby since he's come on. Greason, 6-10 is a fly ball center field B. Fly out to 8. And that brings up Ray Knight, and he gets a 2-10, which is a ground ball third base, 5-3. And this is it for the Pirates right here. This is it for the Pirates season. They need a run to tie to keep the game going. They need 2 to win the game. Bill Robinson up. He gets a 5-6 on Lacoss, which is a double 1-4. And that's going to be a single. So a single for Bill Robinson. Hit allowed by Lacoss. Phil Garner's up. He gets a 4-8, which is a single 1-13. All of a sudden they're getting to him. And they do. And there's 2 runners on with no outs. And the Reds are going to be looking for the bullpen now. They will get Dave Tomlin up in the pen. And that brings up Ed Ott with 2 on and nobody out. And he gets a 1-6, which is a double play. But now the Pirates do still have a man 90 feet away. But that was a, what was that? 1-6 first base. So that was a 3-4 3-4-3. So runner at third, 2 down, Tim Foley up. And he gets a 2-4, and that's a ground ball, shortstop A. And that's going to be it. The Pirates lose, and the Pirates are not going to the World Series. As they did in real life, Cincinnati actually is. And Cincinnati will be awaiting the winner of the California-Baltimore series. But for right now, it's me, Sportsman Z, signing off. Big victory here for Cincinnati in the alternate world of the 1979 NLCS.